Hi everybody, Nightmare Comics 1, and it's been a good little minute now. I'm not sure how long right now. If you hear noise, that's the other TV. Sorry about that. But yeah, on Sunday, Marvel started their and I know it's been kind of Marvel heavy lately, but whatever, deal. But on Sunday, and I hadn't forgot about those reviews either. Just the Thor story, like, yeah, I want to do Thor next, but I don't know. Iron Man is kind of tough because it's gonna be something out of Fraction's run. People that hate Matt Fraction, oh fucking well. It's either gonna be something out of Fraction's run or one other story. If you know Iron Man, it's the obvious one. You know what I mean? It's either gonna be the obvious one or something out of Fraction's run. I think I know which one I want to choose. Um, it's kind of a daunting story. If y'all know me, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, uh, Marvel started their Marvel Universe block on Disney XD on Sunday, and it was a combination of a lot of things. The main thing was the debut of Ultimate Spider-Man, but they have like different sketches. Joe Quesada was up there drawing, which that was kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie, the dude can draw. I hate the man, but he can draw. No one can deny that shit. Um, they had these like little terrible rip-off sketches with like it was like old Marvel cartoons with like updated like voiceovers and stuff, and it was all most of them were corny. The Doc Ock shit was kind of funny, but the rest of them were corny, and it just like the whole block came off as a blatant copy of DC Nation. If you don't know, DC has this thing on Cartoon Network that comes on every Saturday where they show a new Green Lantern, new Young Justice, and they have like they have different shorts, original shorts that were created for that block. You know what I mean? That shit is actually really cool. I mean, Marvel does they do something a little bit different. Like I saw they talked to Joe Quesada, and I hear they're supposed to talk to a few of the creators in the Marvel U as like the weeks go by. Like I think next week I think I saw like they're supposed to have like Brian Michael Bendis up there, another man I really don't like, but that's kind of cool they're doing that. You know what I mean? But the main thing I want to talk about was the actual meat of the block, which is the shows. Um, I'm gonna start with Ultimate Spider-Man because that debuted. Uh, I love this show, and I know I'm in the minority. I like the direction they taking with this show. Like people was like, it's too over the top, too much comedy. Um, I spent like an hour laughing. That's just me. Like I laughed pretty much the whole time. I thought it was funny. I thought it was goofy. I thought it was kind of everything Spider-Man is, to be honest with you. Like I thought it was just a fun show. You know what I mean? And I've never read Ultimate Spider-Man. I've never minus the death of Spider-Man. Never read Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, I know. Go ahead and take away my comic book card and all that shit. But I don't know. It was just like a financial thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not the biggest fan of the webhead anyway. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not the biggest fan to where it's mandatory that I buy Spider-Man every month. Ain't gonna happen like that. Um, really, I hadn't been aside from Green Lantern, and my favorite superhero is Batman. Go figure. But aside from Green Lantern, that's the only book I buy regardless every month because it's been great for like the past 7 years. So yeah, I can trust it. You know what I mean? It's been that great. But yeah, but more about the show though. Drake Bell, if you remember Drake and Josh from Nickelodeon, he does the voice of Pete and Spider-Man, and he does a phenomenal job on the show. Dude is hilarious. Dude, his cadence is perfect. He sounds just like what you would imagine Spidey would sound like. I'm not sure about all the voice actors. What I think is really cool though is Agent Coulson from the Marvel movie universe is actually on this show, and it's dope because they actually got the guy, Clark Gregg, the guy that plays him in the movies. They actually got him to do the voice for Agent Coulson. That's just really dope. They were that in depth with the casting and all that stuff. Um, Now the main story of the show, Pete's been Spider-Man for about a year, and Nick Fury approaches him after he fights. I can't remember the villain right now, but Nick Fury approaches him like, I know who you are, and all this stuff. Just come work with me at Shield, and we can make you better than what you are. He gave him like this advanced web shooter and all this stuff. It was a cooler moment, and pretty much the entire episode, it's two episodes actually. Is Pete kind of getting adjusted to either whether he's going to take Nick Fury's offer, or is he going to is he not? What I mean? Just and I'm not gonna ruin pretty much anything about the story, but I will say that it goes pretty much exactly how you expect. There's actually really funny cameos from three characters that I'm really familiar with. One and I'm not so much, but I'm still familiar with a little bit. But the funniest one though I'm not gonna ruin it, but it's they're pretty much a part of the. If you've seen like some of the previews, you know what I'm talking about. But they're a part of a Fury's unit of heroes. You know what I mean? I just thought it was cool. Like Stan Lee plays like the janitor. It's like for the school, and it's a lot of times where things will happen, and Peter look at the camera, and like it pretty much breaks the fourth wall. You know what I mean? Like he talks to us, the audience, and it's hilarious. Like I really dug this show. The animation is stunning. You know what I mean? I thought it was like really beautiful to look at. A lot of campiness. Like it reminded me of Teen Titans, except the comedy ramped up a level. You know what I mean? And a lot of people was like it wasn't funny. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I laughed, man. Maybe I'm a sucker. But as I said, I have no allegiance to Spider-Man at all. I like Spider-Man. He's a cool character, but I'm not the biggest fan of the web. You get what I'm saying? And it just I enjoyed it, man. I'm gonna get up early every Sunday just to watch it. Real shit. Well, come on at 11. It's not that early, but I'm gonna get up every Sunday to watch it. You know what I mean? Because I really dug it. I really dug that show. Like I would definitely recommend that one. Like the Ultimate Spider-Man. I see a lot of potential there too. I think they're gonna do some really interesting stories. Because and Norman Osborn was set up well. Set up well for what's to come. They even set up Doc Ock. You know what I mean? And it's just it's dope. Like I really enjoyed it. That's just me. I can't say enough about the show. Like there's nothing I really did not like about it. That's just me. I know I feel so alone because I've been on my Twitter and I see people like this show it's not that good and all that stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really dug it, and I'm probably all by myself, but I did. So go figure. Next, we got what I was looking forward to pretty much since the end of last year, which is the Avengers. Actually, before that, like what was it, summer of last year? I can't remember. Sometime last year. It was like it's been a long fucking time. The Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes season 2 debut, and it was fucking awesome. Like Doctor Doom finally made his debut in the series. The Fantastic Four finally talked in the series. The Invisible Woman finally was seen. You know what I mean? And the cliffhanger at the end is bananas. It's absolutely bananas. Like Christopher Yost and the gang have figured out a formula where every episode feels like an issue of a comic book. Like there's exposition at the beginning. You get, pretty much feels like a one-shot issue of a comic book that maybe can lead to another one. Like maybe like the beginning of of a story arc. You know what I mean? Every single episode feels like that. Like they did this thing where where Hawkeye was in the mansion or whatever. Hold on. Let me recap what happened in season 1 if y'all don't remember. Alright, okay. The main thing that's been going on is the Skrulls, and the Skrulls have been, invading and already replicating, already taking the place of. If you know the Skrulls are an alien race that can shapeshift and pretty much imitate any human or whatever, and it caused a lot of problems in the Marvel U. Secret Invasion is a prime example of that. I mean, the Kree Skrull War is probably one of the most important storylines ever in the history of Marvel Comics. if you want a little more background on who the Skrulls are, but pretty much unbeknownst to our heroes, um, there have been like Skrulls taking the place of humans. You know what I mean? One of which they don't know, and I'm just gonna ruin the season one finale. Is Captain America. Like Captain America was with them when the Fantastic Four came to the mansion, and they played. They were playing cards with them. But that Cap was not the Cap. That they know that was a Skrull. You know what I mean? And you see Cap had on his new costume. He doesn't have his holographic shield yet. I saw it on the preview. I'm sorry. That's the new shield he's gonna get people. But that's not Cap, by the way. So, you know, um, there was no Thor in this episode. Apparently, he stayed behind in Asgard. Um, just celebrating after they defeated Loki at the end of season one. And Hank left, as you know, because he felt bad about Ultron. And he doesn't really want to fight anymore. He's a non-violent guy. You know what I mean? And pretty much Tony is hanging out with Reed Richards, which is awesome, and they're talking about shit, and like Tony's like fucking with him, like he's like maybe you should pay more attention to Sue, because he's talking about how he spends so much time in the lab. Sue is the Invisible Woman, by the way, in case you didn't know. But how he spends so much time in the lab, and you need to, maybe your woman, she needs a real man and shit like that. And Reed got mad at him, and they started laughing. Obviously they were playing, and then he was like, lately Sue's been, ignoring me, and then out of the blue, Doom sends Doombots to attack the Avengers mansion, and during the attack, Wasp and Invisible Woman get kidnapped. So and they get taken to Latveria. So the Avengers go to Latveria to get a Invisible Woman and the Wasp back. That's pretty much just the episode. Some great fight, some great action in this episode. The dialogue between the Hulk and the Thing is hilarious. Like this is one thing. This is one bit they do with the Hulk using the Thing as a weapon to to fight the Doombots. It was dope, man. This episode was great. The cliffhanger at the end was pretty much. Let's put it like this. Pretty much, even though it's unbeknownst to the heroes what's going on, Doctor Doom has a plan. You know what I mean? Like he has a plan. Obviously, that much is obvious. Either he has a plan, or something else is going on, and it kind of leaves you to wonder. You know what I mean? Exactly what's happening. You know what I mean? But I love that episode. There's not been an episode of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes that I have not at least liked. This is one of my favorite shows on television. Like not just like I watch a lot of well, not a lot of TV, but I watch a lot of TV shows. You know what I mean? I watch The Walking Dead, obviously, Breaking Bad, Transformers Prime is another one of my favorites. The Killing, which just had the season premiere this past week, which was also really good. It's a lot of shows I watch. I'm trying to get into Mad Men. It's not working. Sons of Anarchy, but Avengers is definitely among my favorite show to watch. Like real shit. I'm not saying it's the best show on TV. I'm just saying that it's honestly it's probably my favorite. You know what I mean? I feel like in terms of an animated show, I feel like it's the best. Period. I feel like there's not much close to it. I really dig this show. And I think they're doing something really special with it. And if the story goes the way I think it's going to go, especially with all the things they set up in season one with Winter Soldier and which I'm pretty sure True Slayer is not the biggest fan of that, but us that have like really stuck with Cap, you know what I mean? You know how much Bucky is a part of Cap's legacy now, you know what I mean? Especially the Winter Soldier thing. It's kind of like Cap's failure to a degree. Not necessarily his failure, but a demon from his past, you know what I mean? And Winter Soldier is also a great story if you never read it. But yeah, like how they set that up in season one. They set up you already know the Masters of Evil. None of them died, you know what I mean? They all kind of disappeared. We don't know what happened to Baron Zemo. I fully expect Zemo to be back. As you know, Carol, if y'all don't know, y'all ain't seen the previews, Carol's going to be Miss Marvel this season. I've seen some other previews where it looked like Luke Cage and Iron Fist is in this show. And it's just some of the stuff I think I saw. I saw a picture of the Falcon. I saw this other picture of someone holding Thor's hammer, but it was like blotched out. I'm pretty sure that was Beta Ray fucking Bill. I'm getting all fanboy on you, but this show is awesome. Seriously awesome. Definitely check out this episode. It's pretty much gonna set the stage for everything we're gonna see. Overall, Marvel Universe, the whole block, I thought was actually pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Like, I loved Ultimate Spider-Man. I feel so by myself because all I've seen is like the people that I've seen that have liked it have really liked it like I have, but the people I've seen that haven't have really not liked it. You know what I mean? And I thought it was awesome. You know what I mean? That's just me. But um, yeah, I'm probably gonna do some more like show reviews like this. Um, when Young Justice is over for the season, I'll talk about that. Young Justice, by the way, is now awesome. Like at first, I just thought it was an alright show, but they're introducing some things. Peter David has been like writing a few of the episodes, and it's been awesome. Like the one from this past Saturday was so good. Like I'm not gonna ruin anything about it, but it's some things that they're kind of tweaking around about certain characters and things like that, and it's making this show great. Like real shit. It's this. Everyone was like kind of worried about Artemis or whatever. Well, this is gonna be kind of a mini review of what's going on. Um, Everyone's been kind of worried about Artemis. You know what I mean? And the plot line with her is more than you can ever imagine. Real shit. If you haven't been watching the show, it's a lot of shit that the rest of the team don't know. And everybody on the team has their own personal demons. Pretty much, it seems like Miss Martian has one. If you know her backstory, I don't want to ruin it. Superboy clearly has one. If you know his backstory, there you go. Artemis with everything that's going on with her. I don't know what's going on with Kid Flash. I don't really know much about Wally when he was a kid. You know what I mean? So somebody help me out with that. Robin, obviously, with just people not knowing anything about him and not knowing, he's obviously Dick Grayson, Bruce Wayne's Batman and all that stuff, and just his past with his parents and things like that. That much is obvious. You know what I mean? Everybody on the team has their own thing. Cowder with that's Aqualad with everything that went on with him in Atlantis. They have like inner problems. You know what I mean? That nobody else on the team knows. Like. And it's gonna make for a dope season finale because I hear that in the episode that's before the season finale, or I think the actual season finale, everything gets thrown on the table. Like I heard someone was talking about it in an interview, and everything gets thrown out on the table that all their secrets, everything they've been hiding, everything is just put out there for all of them to see, and I can't wait for that. And Green Lantern has been awesome. You know what I mean? It has been awesome. I don't want to talk too much about it. Same thing with Young Justice. Like I didn't want to go too in depth, but there's nothing I don't dislike about Green Lantern. I thought I hate the art style. I actually really like the art style. I didn't like it at first, but now I really like it. I hope they don't do the generic thing with Razor though. So and yeah, that's about it. DC Nation is dope though. Those animated shorts are cool too. A lot better than Marvel Universe. You know what I mean? Like the extra stuff on DC Nation. If this is what we're gonna get from Marvel Universe block, DC Nation is miles better when it comes to like an entertainment block. You know what I mean? It's miles better. And has nothing to do with comic books, but I've been watching the remake of Thundercats. Yeah, hey, I'm gonna fucking talk. I'm just gonna tell. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk. I'm watching the remake of Thundercats, and I have I might as well just call this animation hour. Let's give that a shot. Like the animation show or some shit like that. But anyway, I've been watching the remake of Thundercats, and I was not the biggest fan of the show from the '80s. That's just being honest. Was not the biggest fan at all. Not even a little bit. But I just thought my biggest problem with that show is that aside from maybe Lionel getting lost somewhere, or somebody getting hurt and not being able to move, or some generic thing. They did something generic every episode, and Lionel would he would be weakened, and then he'll grab the sword, raise the sword of omens, Thundercats, oh, you know what I mean? And they'd all see the signal and they come running the line though, and it'd be the same fight with the same animations all the time. Not saying it was a bad show, but and I know it's from the '80s, I know that, but I like Silverhawks. You know what I mean? Transformers G1 I still like. You know what I mean? Even though I don't think it holds up too well. I still like the show. You know what I'm saying? But I just think Thundercats is one of the most overrated shows ever. The original Thundercats. I just think it's so overrated. But this remake is amazing. Like real shit. Like I'm not even joking. Like in my opinion, I wouldn't say amazing, but it's great. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, you know, fuck it. In terms of writing, I think it's like really good because this show tops everything the original did in every single way. I even think, you know, everyone misses the theme song. And don't get me wrong, that's the best thing about Thundercats, that theme song. I feel like the music in this show is actually better than that one. Like the opening theme is not even a theme; it's just 11 seconds of a remixed version of the theme song. And it's like just that little part right there. It gets you hyped for the show. Like as soon as that shit cuts on, it's like the orchestral, just you know what I mean. It's like an orchestral version of the theme song. And I feel like that's short, but that's enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's power. And like this show is loud. Like that's another thing. This show is loud. Like the music. Everything about it is loud. You know, it hits you right in the mouth, like from when it comes on all the way to when it's over. You know what I mean? Like everything about the ambiance, the characters' voices. It's a really loud show, and everything seems so epic when it happens. I really dig this show. Like Thundercats is awesome. I think that's all the ones I want to talk about. Oh, I'm talking a little bit about season 2 of Transformers Prime. Hey, this is why y'all here. Hear me talk, right? Let me be a geek. Yo, I'm a little disappointed with what they did with Optimus. Like I didn't want to ruin it in my other video when I talked about it a little bit, but at the end of season 1 of Transformers Prime, Optimus had to use the Matrix of leadership to stop Unicron because Unicron. And on the show it's a long story with Unicron. I don't really want to go into it. Watch that last 3-part. You can watch that without having to watch the rest of the series and get what's going on. So just watch that. And after that happens, you know what I mean. After he uses the Matrix of leadership, he lost his memory, and him and Megatron were actually trying to stop Unicron themselves. And Megatron was the first person around him. And if you don't know, back on Cybertron before and this is actual canon, like this is legit. Back on Cybertron when minus Optimus being like a librarian, I think he was like a cop or something like that. But back on Cybertron, well at least in the comics he was, I don't know. But they were cool, and you know they weren't cool when Optimus became Optimus Prime. He became the next Prime. You know what I mean? Because Megatron was trying to be the next Prime. And before Megatron was Megatron, he took his name from one of the original 13 Primes, Megatronus. And that's kind of like a play on the Fallen also. If you've seen Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. You got to know Transformers lore to really know that. That's actually a nice little tidbit. But when Optimus came to after he used the Matrix of leadership, he was like, Megatronus, what are we doing here? So that let Megatron know he lost his memory. So Megatron takes him back to the Decepticon warship. Takes him back there. It's not the Nemesis on the show, I don't think. But he takes him back there, and he pretty much brainwashes him into believing that the Autobots are evil and all this other stuff, and he gets Optimus to pretty much do shit for him. And things like that, and it's resolved so quickly. Like Optimus just gets his memory back. Like Jack is one of the human characters, and RC they go to Cybertron to go to Vector Sigma. Vector Sigma is like a computer. You know what I mean, it's like a giant computer, like a giant mainframe with the historical data of all Cybertronians. You know what I mean? Plus Optimus's consciousness, so to speak. You know what I mean? So Jack goes. They make it a Vector Sigma, and they pretty much bring back a new Matrix. You know what I mean? And Optimus now has his memory back, and he doesn't remember everything he did when he was with Megatron, which is a lot. And I don't want to ruin all that, but like he gets his memory back so fast. It was told well, you know what I mean? The story was told well, and all that stuff. I just wish this kind of would have been an ongoing thing with this season. You know what I mean? I kind of wish that we would have gotten like a situation where Optimus would have had to fight the Autobots. You know what I mean? Something like that. And it didn't happen. I was a little disappointed. But a lot of nice, like a certain character comes back that was in season 1. I don't want to ruin. I think that's cool. They introduce another flyer for the Decepticons. They're doing some interesting stuff with Air Ragnar. It's interesting things going on with the season. The stories have been told well. You know what I mean? It's just, I just kind of thought that the Optimus thing would be more grand than what it ended up being. You know what I mean? But it's cool. Like I said, the music's dope. Voice acting's top notch. And Frank Welker, I'm gonna make a bold statement, but it's accurate. And it's to me this is not even debatable. This version of Megatron is the definitive version of Megatron. Like, hear me out. G1 Megatron. Well, I'm not gonna say definitive, but the best. Definitely the best. G1 Megatron is goofy. It's goofy as all hell. You know what I mean? Beast Wars Megatron was cool. Don't get me wrong. Beast Wars Megatron was definitely cool. But and it definitely cool. Different, but definitely cool. You know what I mean? He was more of a strategist, things like that. Transformers Animated Megatron, also really, really cool. Transformers Animated Megatron is kind of like a mix of kind of this Megatron of Transformers Prime and the Megatron from Beast Wars. But this Megatron, straight up killer, straight up warrior. You know what I mean? Like the baddest fighter on the show, pretty much. Like no except for Optimus, no one can come hand to hand with that nigga. You know what I mean? Like the voice is amazing. Like Frank Welker does such a great job. Like to me, this is the better voice for what you would imagine the type of character Megatron is. You know what I mean? Like Frank Welker does such a great job with like there's a scene in season 1 where Megatron his body was in stasis, but his mind was his neurocycle was still working. Cause Starscream pretty much tried to sabotage him in order to take control of the Decepticons or whatever. So by doing that, he like they kept Megatron alive. He was giving out like false hope that they was gonna keep him alive or whatever. But then Optimus gets sick and by like a Decepticon virus. But the only way to get the antidote to this virus is to hit up the man that created the virus, which is Megatron. Now they had to do a whatever they call it, a psychic something to and they sent Bumblebee inside of Megatron's mind. You know what I mean? To get the formula or whatever. And as he was in there, Megatron realized that this is inside his brain. Something's going on. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason why he ain't been moving. Shit like that. All he does all day, pretty much inside his brain, is kill the Autobots. You know what I mean? Like his brain creates scenarios where he just kills the Autobots. You know what I'm saying? And but as like Bumblebee, like he shows the cure, the antidote, the formula for the antidote to Bumblebee. They pretty much get a picture of it, and they pretty much trick Megatron. Because Megatron said the only way you gonna get this is if you get me back in my body, pretty much. If you get me out of here, you know what I mean? So they trick Megatron, but Megatron, like, as Bumblebee is leaving Megatron's mind, Megatron hitches a ride, and he's inside of Bumblebee now. So he pretty much occupies Bumblebee's body to pretty much fix his own body. Like he uses Bumblebee's body to fix his body and then put his consciousness back in his body. He succeeds. Let me just go ahead and ruin that. And it's an epic moment because as soon as he gets up, he looks around. And, he's like, and he smiles. Like the smile is so epic. And he's like, I'm trying to do it. Decepticons, your rightful lord and master has returned. And like the voice is just so perfect. And he hops out the bed. And he's like, deal with these pests. Like you have to see it. I'm gonna put the clip if I can find it in the description. And like it's probably I might put it at the end of the video. I don't know. I think I got that episode on my computer. What the hell? I think I might do that. But it's a really just really dope scene. Like real shit. Yeah, but I holler at y'all, man. Like I said, Frank Welker is awesome on the show. Like, I feel like in an animated action show, the voice acting he's doing is like up there with like I forget homeboy that plays Cobra Commander, but him on the original G.I. Joe series, voice acting was incredible. It's goofy as all shit, but like it's so iconic. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't heavy into G.I. Joe, still ain't. That's why I ain't talking about Resolute because I don't watch the show. But you know that the voice acting in that show though, absolutely incredible. By Cobra Commander, right up there in my opinion with Mark Hamill as the Joker, like in all different forms of media. The voice acting in Frank Welker makes this show as great as it is. Peter Cullen always great as Optimus Prime. We all know this. You know what I mean? Bumblebee doesn't have his voice box, obviously, you know, because the movie and all the success. And you know, they kind of wanted it to look and kind of feel like the movie, even though it's written by the same people that made the wrote the movie. I think something like that. But the thing is that it's so awesome. It's so much better than those shitty movies. Like that show is kind of how those shitty movies should have been. You know what I mean? Like who was Shia LaBeouf's character in those movies? Sam Witwicky. Like the way Jack acts is kind of how Sam should act. You know what I mean? Whatever though. But like I was saying, and I know y'all hear the mic moving, I'm sorry. That show was awesome. Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes Season 1 was also very dope. And it was dope shit, man. Like this whole weekend of cartoons was awesome. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna title this video, and this is very long. It's like 32 minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna title it, but if y'all hear this long, thank you. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.
Decepticon warship.
Did Bumblebee do this?
I fear Megatron's mind is dominant. And clearly he came here for one purpose. To use the Dark Energon to resurrect his own body.
No. Bumblebee won't let him. Like he didn't let Megatron hurt me back at the base.
I hope you're right.
Ratchet! Don't hurt Bumblebee!
That's not Bumblebee!
Bumblebee, no! Remember who you are! Remember me! I know you always listen to me no matter what! That's right, B. It's me!
Unbelievable! Farewell, Megatron.
Bumblebee!
Bumblebee can't hear you anymore.
As much as I want you to leave Bumblebee's body, I can't let you go back to your own! Huh.
Decepticons, your rightful lord and master has returned.